watching TV20 Cleveland. I'm Dan Monroe. Now, I want you to stop what you're doing, stop whatever work you're doing, and listen to this interview because there's a lot of great information that's going to be coming your way. My guest today is Melissa Burrows, Director of Talent Acquisition, Workforce, and Diversity at the Cleveland Clinic. Melissa, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Dan, for having me.
A lot of great information I spoke about for people looking for jobs, for careers. Well, first of all, before we talk about that, tell me about you.
Oh, yes.
Talk about your role. What does that mean?
Sure. So I am, as you mentioned, Director of Talent Acquisition, Workforce Diversity, so recruitment, but from the community perspective. So specifically, my role is really to increase the number of City of Cleveland residents that work at the Cleveland Clinic. And so we do that really by partnering out with our partners in the community and going out in the community as opposed to staying in the four walls of the clinic.
The Cleveland Clinic is a massive institution in Cleveland. How many people work for the clinic?
So there are 77,000 caregivers, and everyone that works at the clinic, we are known as caregivers as opposed to just employees. Everyone takes care of a patient to some extent because our role is really, and our motto is really patients first.
So with that many people working there, is there room, I don't lead you into what you're talking about, to hire more people?
Always, always, always. And so that is really, the purpose really for me being here is really to talk about the fact that that Cleveland Clinic, we need more people to apply, to be hired, and to actually work in the various roles at the Cleveland Clinic.
Cleveland Clinic is pretty much the #1 hospital in the world. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse. Why would I want to go to apply for something as prestigious as the Cleveland Clinic?
Because the Cleveland Clinic is an entire ecosystem. And I always say all the way from someone who hangs the pictures on the walls, all the way to the doctors and nurses. And just think about that whole ecosystem in between those two bookmarks. And so specifically for this particular event that's coming up, we need individuals to take care of our patients. We need individuals who can provide nursing support. We need individuals who can actually clean the hospital and make sure that our patients stay safe. We need individuals to get on the phone and make those appointments for our patients as well. So those are specifically the kind of roles we're looking for, but don't just stop there. We know that there's a whole plethora of positions available.
Well, let's look closer into this, but let's talk about what are the specifics of the Cleveland Clinic Community Career Expo. When's that happening? Where can people get more information?
So the expo is this Saturday, and that is August the 12th, and it's from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at our Langston Hughes Community Health Center.
And where's that located?
That's at 79th and Quincy, and it's right there at the corner. And most people know where that is in relationship to Fairfax Renaissance Development Corporation. So that's sort of the landmark, so to speak. But 79th and Quincy, right at that corner.
If someone watching right now is interested in looking for a new job to start a career with the Cleveland Clinic, how do they go about getting there? Do they have to register? What do they need to know?
You can register, but I'm going to say to you, don't let that stop you. You can also walk into the Career Expo as well. If you register, you'll have a slot, but you can walk in. And let me say too, walk in as you are. If you're wearing, jeans and a t-shirt, we're not going to evaluate you based on the way that you are dressed. We know that we have open positions. We know that it's a Saturday. People are busy with their own lives, but we want you just to come in and actually stop and interview and then leave hopefully with a position at the Cleveland Clinic as well.
I like that. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy a suit or a tie or a new dress. Show up
as you are.
But what if some people don't have their resumes or don't even have a resume? How can the Cleveland Clinic help people to get on that right track?
Right. Okay, so if you don't have a resume, let me say you don't really have to have one. That's the first thing. But you can still come to the Career Expo and we can help you fill out the application on the spot, so we can take you to our system. There'll be someone there in our computer labs actually helping you fill out the application on the spot, and then potentially they may move you over to the interview piece as well. You can also come to the Langston Hughes Community Health Center on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and there is a program manager, Kim Peavy, who's there from 9 a.m., 10 a.m.-ish or so, all the way to 4 p.m. You can actually stop by in advance if you like, or even after this expo, and receive assistance for the application process, the resume piece, the interview process as well. So just come and we can help.
This is great. It sounds like you have the agents on hand. You have people ready to. Most places don't do this. They don't help you walk through the process. But it sounds like the Cleveland Clinic is looking for the community to get involved.
Right. So 2 years ago, I was specifically hired. It was a new position, really to figure out how we can bridge that gap between the community and the Cleveland Clinic. And I will say to you that my whole role is really centered around finding the trusted advisors in the community. So we know, for instance, I mentioned Fairfax Renaissance Development Corporation, the CDCs, the partners in terms of the agencies that individuals use in those communities. And it really is from a sort of the central sort of area where we are on the east side, our main campus. But we also know that we need to go further east and further west as well. So we partner potentially like with the YMCA, or it could be, again, those CDCs, Community Development Corporations, because that's where the people are, right? That's where they go. That's the rec centers. They know that I can go to the rec center and I can hang out. But so that means that for us, the Cleveland Clinic, then we need to go where the people are, because that's where they feel most comfortable, and then we go and start talking to them about career opportunities if they're interested.
Is there a stigma people might have that they might be afraid to apply for a job at the Cleveland Clinic?
Right, they may, absolutely. One of the things that we had, and we've been able to change that to some extent as well in terms of our process, one of the things was that you could not smoke and work at the Cleveland Clinic. Ultimately, what you can do is you can go ahead and, if you are a smoker, you can go ahead and start the process with us in terms of the application process, the interview process, and we will help you quit within a time frame so that by the time you really begin working, you will have stopped smoking as well. So we'll help you through that process. You can actually begin working, but within a certain time period, we will anticipate and help you stop smoking if that's something that you're interested in as well.
You know, Melissa, quick story. A couple of years ago, a friend of mine applied for a job at the Cleveland Clinic, and for whatever reason did not get the position, but got the letter saying, don't stop here. There's plenty of other positions to open to apply for. But he felt that was just a brick wall. We're done. I'm done with the Cleveland Clinic. Right. It sounds like you're saying there are plenty of positions, no matter what.
There are plenty of positions. And let me say that is something that we're focused on as well. So we know that when people receive that, I'll just say, lack of a better word, rejection, or it really is, a lot of times it means they preferred another candidate. But a lot of times people will say, I'm done. That means I can't go any further. It really means preferred another candidate, but you are eligible for other roles. And so what we are doing intentionally is going through individuals who were declined that first go round, and we're trying to re-engage that community as well. Because again, we know that when you receive that type of information, it's just, if you feel like it's a dead wall or brick wall and that you can't go any further, no, it's just for that particular role. There are so many other positions available as well. And our overall philosophy is leave no candidate behind. So the recruiters are intentionally trying to get those individuals who may not have received that position, they're sending them over to other recruiters as well, because again, there is a position available for you.
You know, I think it's important to stress again, on-the-spot interviews at the Expo. Why is that important? Just to at least get your foot in the door.
Yeah, because really, you are here and you're actually applying for something. And again, I told you, we have all these positions that are available. We know that we have to be intentional. We're in a quick moving society. People don't, want to wait for long periods of time. In fact, if they wait, and if we wait as an employer, then they could find someone else to actually apply and to begin working. People want to work, if they want a job, they want to work today to some extent, or tomorrow. And so we know we're trying to make sure that that process is quick as possible. People don't have time to wait if they want to go ahead and work so that they can receive a paycheck, so that they can support their family and themselves. And so we're trying to make sure that that process is as quick as possible. We're being safe with that process as well, but we know that people, they don't have time to waste.
Let's talk advancement. Someone comes in and they get eventually hired maybe as customer service, excuse me, or maybe as environmental, maybe mopping floors. Is that it, or is there room to spread out to go to different avenues in the clinic?
I always tell people, get your foot in the door. That's the first thing. And in addition to that, we have internally, we have career mapping. So in other words, you start out at one position, but this map will show you all the various roles that you can advance in, even within that particular career. Or you can move over to another career. And again, there's a career map so that you can see what that looks like in terms of moving up. You don't want to just potentially stay in one position. You want to be able to advance your career and your salary as well. And so there are lots of opportunities for that. You can also then, if you're interested, there's opportunities for schooling as well.
And I'm sure, once you get in, you can meet so many people who are in your shoes and moved around. There's a lot of room for advice and mentorship and things like that.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. We have mentorship programs if that's something you're interested in. You can be assigned a mentor. We have a Global Leadership and Learning Institute, and so even I want to go and take something on as it relates to understanding more about Excel, more about our Teams program, which is, a computer software program. Anything you want to learn, there's an opportunity for you to sign up and learn as well. And again, there's no cost for you related to that. It's just telling us what you need so that we can support you.
It doesn't hurt to just go to the Community Career Expo. Even if you might have a job, it doesn't hurt to see what else is out there.
Absolutely. You don't know until you come and experience it.
And not to mention the fact you're going to have a lot of other resources available for people just for stopping in, for food assistance, transportation support, legal services. Talk about that.
We understand that there's a sort of what we understand this term, and it really is, we learned it from United Way, barriers to work. So there's this whole ecosystem around the fact that individuals may need help with transportation. They may need help with dress. So Dress for Success will be there in terms of it may even be your scrubs. If you need scrubs to work, they will provide those kind of opportunities as well. We know that career is one thing, but you need a whole team of resources and support as well. We're going to have that on the spot as well. You
mentioned scrubs. Does every position require you to wear scrubs at the clinic?
No, they do not. A lot of times it just depends on what role. Environmental services, our housekeeping, they have a particular uniform. Our actual patient care nursing assistants, nursing support, they have different uniform scrubs as well, but not every position requires that you wear a uniform.
I think it'd be cool to wear scrubs all day anyway. It looks so comfortable.
I know. I think I would be comfortable in that too.
All right, Melissa, let's hit us with the details again on the Community Career Expo.
Sure, thank you, Dan. The Cleveland Clinic's Community Career Expo will be held this Saturday, August the 12th, from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. at our Langston Hughes Community Health Center, which is at 79th and Quincy, right at that corner.
And what if people can't make it, is there anywhere they can go to see what's out there and for more information?
Yeah, absolutely. You can just look on our website under careers and just look at that piece as well. We will have flyers. We've also been out canvassing, so we've been able to get flyers out in the community. But just stop by Langston Hughes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Kim Peavy will be there to assist you.
All right, the Community Career Expo this August 12th, this Saturday. I suggest get there. It will, if you're looking for something new, Cleveland Clinic's one of the biggest employers in Cleveland. Give it a try. There might be something for you. Melissa, thank you so much. A lot of great information today.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dan.
And thank you for watching TV 20 Cleveland. I'm Dan Monroe. We'll see you next time.